Hey there, this is Pastor Tabitha Purple. We are on day 6 of our 7-day devotional life. I have really tried to not talk too much. I am probably not succeeding because, I'm a pastor, I talk. That's not by accident. No, let me behave myself. Okay, so day 6, we are looking at the book of Ephesians. One of our favourite authors, Paul, is back again. He's a New Testament author, so Ephesians chapter 5 verse 8 to 10. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 8 to 10. It's really an interesting set of verses, so let me read them for you. I know that means you see the top of my head. One day I'll put like a card here so I can read and look at you at the same time. I'm guessing that's much better technology. I don't know, maybe I'll flash something on the screen if I knew how to do video editing. I don't know, but we'll get better at this, okay? For now, Ephesians 5, 8 to 10. Good. All right, what does it say? For you were once in darkness, but you are now in light, in the Lord. Live as children of the light, for the fruit of the light consists of all goodness, righteousness, and truth, testing what is pleasing to the Lord. Hey, this is a nice verse. Once I lived in darkness, now I live in light. Stay in the light. Don't go back to the darkness. Be where God is. That's basically effectively what it's saying. And then comes this little reference to fruit, which you think, ooh, that's nice, because we all can eat and we identify with that. It's not so complicated. But when it says fruit, you think immediately there's a biblical story with fruit right at the beginning of the story, where the two humans, Adam and Eve, had a choice. They had a choice between the tree of good and knowledge, good and bad, and the tree of life, and they chose the knowledge of good and bad, and then they set us on a course for destruction, and a course that Jesus was coming to save us. So isn't that wonderful? But how do you live in light? How do you make those choices? And so here's my tip for today in terms of reflecting on this. This isn't a kind of a don't ever do anything bad because that's it, your relationship with God will be doomed speech. This is a get to each point that you can with intentionality and make a good choice. Like, go with your best choice that you can. Pray, read your Bible, study, and every time there's a choice to be made, try your best. So let's give you a silly example. So when we drive, we make a million different choices. I love driving. I pretty much drive for a living. It feels like I drive up and down the country all the time. I spend many hours in my car. Now, when I'm sitting in my car, I'm not consciously thinking of the millions of choices I'm making. So in the Netherlands, the bicycle is king, pedestrians are definitely the queen, and the car is the pauper. So you as a car driver have to bear everybody else in mind and make sure that they're all safe when you're driving. It's really important. Don't hit a bicycle, do not hit a person. I mean, you shouldn't want to do that anyway, right? But here in the Netherlands, it's really important to respect that. So coming off a roundabout, there'll always be a crossing. There'll always be points where bicycles go. You have to stop before you go around the corner. I found that quite a difficult thing when I moved from England, where England's motto of roundabouts is get on and off as quick as you can. Go, go, go. But in the Netherlands, you've got to stop to let people cross. You've got to mind the people, okay? I don't necessarily think about that intentionally anymore. It happens. You're making the decisions. You're looking around in the car. You're bearing in mind traffic lights. You're seeing the cars next to you. You're doing all of those decisions. And then sometimes you'll be driving and someone will cut up and the first instinct is to cuss. Now, I'm a cussing person, I'll be honest. Let me name my thing. If you sit in the boundary of my car, you will hear me cuss. I'm not going to swear or carry on, I'm not cussing people out, but I will name what I see. So if you did something silly, I'm going to say it's silly in my car and I'm going to just mutter and carry on. So I do that. I wasn't even really conscious of how much I did that. To the point that I was traveling with the boys. I've got two sons and I was traveling with them in the car. I travel with the whole family a lot. and somebody did something quite dangerous in front of me, quite ridiculous. And I don't often give the horn, and I don't step out of everything stays in the car, right? Let me be very clear. I'm not a person to challenge. I'm not coming out of the car. I'm not starting a fight. I don't try and pull people over, none of it. But I was driving along and my son in the back started cussing because he's like, you could have lost my life. What you did could have caused the accident. Good thing my mum's a good driver, And then he said, because if we weren't in the car, I'd get out and I'd do something. And I was like, oh, hold on. Oh no, we don't do that. No. This is a safe space in the car. And then suddenly I had been making decisions about my speech, which had affected my children. And I had not been consciously and intentionally making those decisions. I had just lived. And so my thing after looking at this verse and my interaction with my child, where I had to teach him, car is safe space. Like this, we let out our negative energy, but we do not, under any circumstances, threaten people. We do not get out of cars and do things to people. We are always reasonable when we talk to people, because just maybe the other person is having an accident in their car. Maybe they lost their footing. There are reasons why things happen. You don't know. Some people are bad drivers, but there are actually other maybe they sneezed. Maybe they spilt something hot on themselves. You don't know what happened to cause the behavior that you're seeing. So first, we are reasonable. Always reasonable, nice, polite. We do not carry on outside of the car. So I had to have that conversation. And then came this point of, well, this is what the living in the light is about. It's about being intentional. In those moments when we're really relaxed because we're making lots and lots of decisions and we're not really processing with intentionality our words, how do we be intentional? Tough, right? Okay, so living in the light is not as easy as it seems, but we can do it with a little bit of intentionality. Give it a try. Let's see how we get on. This one was longer. I'm sorry. Bye-bye.